So integral of 1 plus 5x squared minus 8x to the half with respect to x. So we're going to integrate each one of these terms separately, starting with integral of 1. And we're going to write a little note here on the side to see in detail how we integrate a constant 1 with respect to x. So basically what we can see there is the integral of 1. We can imagine x to the power of 0, which is 1, attached to that 1, which wouldn't change the meaning of that term at all, but it would change the looks of it. So what would we do to integrate? Add 1 to the exponent. So we would have 1x to the 1 divided by that same 1. Lots of 1's here, and we don't need to write them all. So we could say this ends up being just x. So integral of a constant will be the constant multiplied by x. The x comes into the formula. Then we need to add 1 to the exponent of the 5x squared. And we have 5x cubed, and of course divide by that same power. Minus 8. Now let's see what we do here. We add 1 to the half, and probably good to look on the side what we have to do to add a half to 1, or 1 to a half. 1 is the same as 1 over 1. Same meaning, different looks. To add fractions, we need the denominators, the bottom numbers, to be the same. In this case, they are not, but we would like them both to be 2. So if I double the bottom here to have a 2, I double the top as well. 2 over 2 is the same as 1 over 1. So I haven't changed the meaning of that original whole number 1. But I have made it easier to be able to add those two fractions. So keep the bottom number 2, add the top numbers 1 and 2. So 3/2 is our new exponent for x. So what have we done? Added 1 to a half, 3/2, and now we have to divide this by the same 3/2 and add a constant at the end. There is certainly some simplifying to be done here. The first one will be 1x. We can drop that 1 and just say x. The second term doesn't need any simplifying. It cannot be simplified any further. But now 8x to the power of 3/2 divided by 3/2, what we need to do here, because it's almost like we have double fractions here, we are dividing by a fraction, so what we need to do is multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal is always just changing the top and bottom of a fraction. So we carry on with that -8, the coefficient, and multiply by 2/3. So dividing by something is the same as multiplying by its inverse. And the x to the power of 3/2 stays exactly the same there. Final line to simplify further, we're going to copy the first two terms, and now we're just going to operate with this. We have 8, which is 8 over 1, times 2/3, all negative, so negative 16/3 x to the 3/2 plus a constant. So two important things here. The integral of a constant will be the constant multiplied by x. The integral of a power of x that has a fraction as the exponent needs to be added by 1, and then the whole expression divided by that fraction. And the way to rewrite that in a simpler form will be to multiply that term by the reciprocal of the fraction.